Your body is not yours. It's a huge ecosystem, much like a rainforest, home to billions of other life forms. How can this be? I'm Grace, and this is Grace Talks Science. We know our bodies are made up of billions of cells. Muscle cells help us to move, nerve cells communicate messages across our bodies, and blood cells keep our immune system functioning. But it may surprise you to know that your body actually contains billions of other non-human cells, roughly as many microbial cells as human. The term microbiome is often used to describe the organisms, the environment in which they live, and the genes that they contain in their genomes. Every single person has a unique microbiome, a community of trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that live on your skin, in your mouth, throughout your gut, in your lungs, and in females, in the vagina. Your gut alone contains up to 40 trillion microbes of up to 5,000 different species. While this may seem alarming, many of these microbes are essential for keeping us healthy. The gut provides a large and diverse habitat with different species living throughout the digestive tract. These help us to digest food, absorb nutrients, and perhaps most surprisingly, communicate with our brain. This happens through something called the gut-brain axis. You can think of it like a biological superhighway between the gut and the brain. Scientists are now discovering that this communication affects more than just digestion. Certain patterns of gut bacteria have been associated with different disorders, including major depressive disorder, schizophrenia, and even autism. One reason for this may be that gut bacteria produce neurotransmitters, small chemical messages that our nervous system uses to communicate. The gut is also a major site of serotonin production, although most of this serotonin is made more by human cells in the intestine than by the microbes. Gut microbes are therefore thought to communicate with the brain through the immune system, the nervous system, and via hormones. Research into the gut-brain axis is ongoing, but scientists hope it may lead to new approaches in treating mental health conditions. And it doesn't stop there. Differences in our microbiomes have been linked to sporting performance, risk of developing allergies, and even the risk of developing certain cancers. In the case of allergies, scientists think that our microbiomes develop early in life, when we're in the womb, throughout childhood, and through exposure to certain allergens. Being born vaginally rather than by C-section, growing up in a bigger family, living in more rural environments, and even having pets have all been associated with a lower risk of developing allergies. In a study in Australia, children with older siblings or dogs in the house had a lower risk of developing egg allergies. Other studies have shown increased risk of food allergy or sensitization in children born by cesarean section. But perhaps the strangest thing that these tiny stowaways may influence is what you feel like eating. The gut is an incredibly competitive environment. Every species living there is trying to survive, and each has its own preferred food source. Some scientists think that gut microbes can use the gut-brain axis to even affect the dietary behavior of their hosts. In other words, to encourage us to eat food that helps them to thrive via cravings. Spooky. So should you start drinking kefir and eating kimchi every meal to strengthen your gut microbiome, as the probiotic adverts are always trying to tell us? Well, maybe hold off for a minute. A study published in Cell found that probiotic bacteria do not successfully colonize everybody's gut. Their ability to make themselves at home depended on the species already present in the gut, which, as we discussed earlier, varies hugely person to person. This means that while it may be beneficial for some people to take probiotics, it may have little to no effect on other people. Unfortunately, the most effective method to alter the gut microbiome is by a fecal microbiota transplant. Yes, that is exactly how it sounds. Please don't Google it. Despite doctors' warnings, some people have even taken matters into their own hands and tried to do these risky medical procedures at home. Personally, I'd rather stick with a Yakult, even if it doesn't work. Fortunately, there is a much simpler and less drastic way to improve your microbiome's health. Many studies point to the same conclusion. The highly processed Western diet is extremely low in dietary fibre. Without enough fibre, microbial diversity in the gut decreases, and this decrease has been associated with conditions such as obesity, metabolic diseases, and even colorectal cancer. So whilst there is a lot that we don't know, one thing is increasingly clear. The trillions of tiny creatures living on and inside of our bodies are not just passive passengers. They shape our nutrition, digestion, and can even influence our behavior and our health. So as your body is not just yours, do your mini microbial mates a favor and get in your 5 a day. And as always, stay curious. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment below any topics you'd like us to explore together.